Okay, this is just something that we're just gonna try to do, and I will hopefully get better as we do it. Um, I'm going to rank all of the palettes that I used in January, and I used roughly 22, maybe 23. I didn't start writing them down, and I forgot to write a few down. So I kind of went back through my videos and wrote down what I could remember. So bear with me. I'm going to try to do this and hopefully do a good job, or if not, we'll get better as we do it. The first at the we're going to say that it is in the 23rd spot. I'm going to give, or 24. We're going to give myself grace because I may have forgotten two palettes. But the palette that I ranked the lowest for January is the Alter Ego Mist Haven. Um, while it, I'll show you the color story. While we did create a nice look, and I like this cream to powder shadow. Um, the color story, more so than anything, let me clarify. These three, more than anything, I think they're duochromes or multi. They just don't do anything for me. Otherwise, the it's a dupe for the grunge palette. I'm pretty sure I don't have that palette, and um, I won't get it because it's just not. It's not a color story that suits me. That sounds so ugly. I don't mean to sound so ugly, but it just is where it is. This just does not. I don't. I I'll use it again and try to get a you know better opinion maybe. But overall, from my first impression, it's just not something that vibes with me. In what we're going to call the 23rd spot, because like I said, it's a loose number. Um, I probably used a couple of more that I maybe didn't get on the list, and this is going to, I may find them. So, yeah, February, I hope to be better. Is Huda Beauty's, or Natasha Denona's, I'm sorry, Golden Palette. Um, in a nutshell, the bottom line of this is I did not need this palette. I don't, anybody, and forgive me, but across the board, if you have, I need a nude, I need a warm, or various other palettes from Natasha Denona, you don't need this. You have the colors. Um, as far as performance with the look that I created, it was a really nice look. I have no real complaints about the shades or anything like that. It's just I really didn't need it type situation. So that's why it's ranked where it's ranked for January. Coming in at what we're going to call 22, and it's because I've already lost count. So hopefully it'll translate a little bit better. Um, and this is not because the shade fell out, okay? It's just because I do not gravitate towards this palette. I don't, it doesn't ever come into my mind, oh yeah, let's use that. It kind of has to be a specific, um, oh yeah, I have this. So I'm not exactly wowed um, by the Natasha Denona Love palette. Let me pull that under so the vanity lights reflect off of it. I apologize. Um, The color story is beautiful. I love the pinks, the reds, the blue, the purples. I said blues, there are none. I just don't gravitate towards it. And for that reason, it's ranked where it is. We're going to go ahead and do the next one. So it's 24, 23, 22. I'm struggling. I should have made myself better notes. There was a toss-up between the Natasha Denona actual gold palette and Metropolis. So just for the sake of putting them in a slot, I'm gonna put the the gold palette in the 22nd slot. Again, I may show you every palette that I actually used. I may have to say at the end, oops, I forgot these. Okay, so falling in the 21 slot is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. And while we had fun, we did a bingo with it. I've had this for a long time and I just don't gravitate towards it. I don't care. The color story is just kind of, and again, let me show you what I meant. A lot of these golden tones, yeah, I did not need the golden palette. So it's not bad. It performed nicely. Um, it's just a matter of I don't gravitate towards it. So the next one, I'm just kind of going to tell you, I'm only ranking it this high because I don't want to rank it any lower. Does that make sense? And it was coming in, wait a minute, 24, 22. Wait, I can't do basic math. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. That one, Metropolis, should have been 20. So, in number 19 is the Inslee Rain Light in Your Eyes. The reason, more than anything, I put the tabs that came over the shimmers and stuff back on there. I just struggled whenever I used this palette. Quality wise, everything else aside, I just struggled with it. And that may be a personal thing. I don't know. We will see as we try it again and again. But for right now, it's not something that I want to pick up and use again. And that sounds so ugly, and I'm so sorry. But that's the point of ranking things. It may all wash out completely different next month. Who knows? In the 18th slot, despite really, really liking this, I'm ranking it low in here because there are other palettes that I used that I liked better. But it's the Nomad Chicago Speakeasy. And it's a beautiful color story. We created a really cool look with it. It performed. It stayed. It seems like I used this on one of the days that we trained a lot with Mayor. So I don't really have any complaints. There are just palettes that are above it for right now. Okay, taking the 17th spot, 18th spot, 17th, yeah, 17th. Wait. Okay, taking the 17th spot And it's mostly because it's a new palette and I haven't really had my fingers in it very much. However, we absolutely loved, because the Kentucky Blue, the blues. Um, Overall, I used five shades, I think 4 or 5 shades out of it. They performed wonderfully. Um, it is something that I recommend if this color story suits you. But it is the Nomad. Hopefully, I say this properly. Chamal Après Ski palette. Um, it's ranked at 17 just because I've used it one time, and there are others that I like better. So, coming in at number 16 is the Too Faced Aptly in Love palette. It is one of the first Too Faced palettes that I have bought probably since 2018. Um, I don't have any complaints about the color story. I don't have any complaints about the way that it performed. The look that I created was very nice. It is just here because I used it one time, and that's what I'm basing it off of. It The smell is not quite a fragrance that is um, something I like. So we're going to put it in the 16th slot. I hope that's right. Um, this, I should have made myself more notes. I will try to do better in February. Um, it's not a bad palette at all. They're just, there were so many that I used in the month, so they got to go somewhere. Coming in at number 15 is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. And um, it kind of puts me in mind of, let me see if I have it here handy, if I can work hands. Yeah, kind of. Similar color story is Alter Ego Sundown. Um, it is not my dream, so therefore it is number 14. Is it 14 or 15? We're so lost. Yeah, it's 15. I'm sorry. I'm bad at this. In the 14th slot, we're going to Alter Ego Harmony. Um, it's a really neat color story. It's similar to the Natasha Denona My Dream, and there's another one it's similar to, but I can't think of it right offhand. Um, I liked the way that it performed. I liked it. So we're going to put it in number 14. And because I forgot to check the list and look at it, this maybe would have been 14, but we're putting it in 13 because I oopsed. This is the Alter Ego Sundown palette, which kind of dupes the Natasha Denona Dream palette. Same. It's, let me back up. I don't find it on par to the quality of the Natasha Denona palette. However, if you are in the market to get a good, solid palette, good quality, yes, by all means. Worth the price, worth, you know, they perform nicely, and they dupe the Natasha Denona or the higher end palettes relatively well. So I'm not, alter ego is, I'm not, I don't have words. Um, I recommend them. In the number 12 slot, we're going to put Sigma's The Little Mermaid. I adore this color story is fantastic. Um, the only reason it the formula, I love Sigma's formula. I'm a huge Sigma fan. Um, the only reason why this is going to be in the 12th slot is because there are others that I gravitate towards more than this. Now, that being said, I have only used this one time, so this is another one of those, it just needed a home, so it is number 12. So, coming in at number 11 is the ABH Soft Glam Palette. Just the color story. It is what it is. It is the ABH formula that I love so very much. It is a glam palette. It is a soft, it is a neutral, nude leaning, um, easy to create a look with palette. And so therefore, it is number 11. Coming in the 10th spot, and in case you haven't picked up on this, this is giving me tremendous anxiety because I have so many palettes in so many different places, and I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, this is the Tartelette Energy Palette. I love this color story. It is a super go-to palette. Um, I am fond of the Tartelette palettes. Um, they travel well. They're it's one of those palettes where if you're going someplace where you're going to be for several days, you don't have to take a whole lot of palettes with you because this pretty much has you covered. So for that reason, it is in the number 10 spot. I have to take a break and put some of this stuff away. This is just coming in at number 9 is the Tartelette Energy Toasted Palette. Oh, again, like the Energy Palette, it's a like brownish, terracotta-ish brick, but soft. So it's one that if you're traveling and you're going to be need makeup for a few days, this will cover you pretty much with for look wise, deep and soft, and it is one that I do travel with. So it is number 9. My apologies, I had a little tower of palettes sitting here, and I had to stop and put them away because I kept, and my brain started flashing. If you knock those palettes over and break them, that's a lot of money. So yeah, that's a lot. So I like that face. That's a lot. Anyway, let's move forward. Number 8 is the Huda Beauty Nude Palette, the Nude Medium Palette. I'll show you the color story. I really, sorry, a little ahead of myself. I really, over the years, have enjoyed her 9-pan palettes. I am trying not to buy any more of them. I picked up her last palette around Christmas time, and I've not even taken the time to use it. I don't have anything against Huda Beauty. Understand. I own so many palettes made by her that I just really don't need any more. It's the same thing with Natasha Denona. I don't need any more. Um, and that's kind of going to be where that is. And it's in the 8th spot, and I'm pretty sure that I did not count right, so we're going to fix it however we fix it. I've got a pin lost in my hair. Um, yeah, that's gorgeous. Oh, the anxiety this is giving me. I am going to have to make more notes for myself because I'm pretty sure that I've forgotten things, and we're just going to roll with it and go. Coming in at number 7 is the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. I will be much more calm when I have this put away. Because, like I said, tower of palettes, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful, exactly what it says, a warm tone palette. I tend to lean and navigate more towards those. Um, Beautiful looks. I have no complaints as far as this palette itself goes. Did I need it? No. Did I buy it? Yes. I've used it, I think, once. So it's going to be number 7. And I'm going to put it away, and I can start to breathe again because it's put away. Coming in at number 6, which it could be a lot higher. I reach for it a little bit more than any other Natasha Denona palette. If you would like for me to rank all my Natasha Denona palettes, leave it in the comments below, and I can do that. Hopefully better than I'm doing this one. But coming in at number 6 is the I Need a Nude palette, and I've talked about this one before. This was the Natasha Denona palette that made me fall back in love with Natasha Denona. I had become a little disenchanted because there are a couple of palettes that I have, lots of fallout, lots of just not what I thought should happen with something that costs that much money. So many people that I watch talked about this palette being beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful, and all of the things, and it is. It is a perfect fit for me. So it is number 6 for this month. Okay, for today, I know that I think we were on like number 6 or something like that. We've gone through my list. So we're going to, if I think there's some others missing, I'll recheck and we will give them notable mention at the end of the video. I guesstimated 24. Apparently I guesstimated too far off. But anyway, this would still hold true for my favorite for the number 1 slot for January. It's an older palette, but it is the Unveiled palette by Sydney Grace. I knew nothing about Sydney Grace until the latter part of 2024. And when I say that, I had not tried any of her products. I had not done anything with anything. I had heard the name in the community, but I had not really heard. There was another creator. I can't remember exactly her name, and I don't think she's making content anymore. But she showed a lot of Sydney Grace products and shadows, and I was like, I need to tap in and try this. And so I did. And I have to keep myself off the Sydney Grace website because I absolutely love the formula. I love the themes of her palettes. I love everything about and so in the number one slot for January is the Sydney Grace Unveiled Deep palette. Um, it's Sydney Grace and Kendra. Hold on, somewhere I have glasses. I'm sorry, I had to take a phone call and I'm discombobulated. Kendra Matthias. But yes, I absolutely. It's a bridal palette, um, and I would just be honest with you. I think that I've not used the light yet, but I think that you could either one would be fantastic. This is the deep one, and it is the number one. And I'm going to go back through my videos and make sure that we covered everything. If we need to adjust numbers, we'll just kind of adjust them mentally ourselves. This is my first attempt at ranking all of the palettes that I used in a month, and hopefully we will do better in February, because I now know that I need to make better notes. And that's the area that I struggle with. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this. Leave me thoughts, comments, and I know this was rough. I know. Anything that constructive, please leave it below so I can get better at this. Thank you to those of you that do these type videos, because you inspired me to do this one. Y'all have a great day. Remember, I am the mayor's daughter. My name is Vicki. We love you so very much. Have a great day. See you. Bye.